Please tell that person that we know that is school. But we also need a break. Now, let's go to verse 33. And those who are reading literature, there's something that in literature they call it paradox. Will somebody explain that? You know how students who are reading at your level in literature, either literature in English or English literature. What is a paradox? I told you I'm a teacher. Let's go to the college people. If you got it wrong, you'll be in trouble. What is a paradox?
It's a piece of writing which is not easy to understand, but under careful consideration, you see that it's right.
Clap for him, he said. Now, let me show you a paradox in verse 33. Let me read from here. And let's read carefully. And this is the paradox of life. Something that all of us will go through, but the discernment, the wisdom, the ability to unlock. Now, let me read from here. And Saul said to David, you are not able to go against the Philistine to fight with him, for you are a youth. So the reason why David cannot fight is that he is. Have you observed that? Let's continue reading. And the man of war, Goliath, the man he is going to fight with, for you are a youth, and he, Goliath, a man of war from his.
Get someone for him.
Goliath has been fighting from his. He has been fighting from his. David cannot fight from his.
I'm coming.
Are you getting it? David cannot fight Goliath because he is. Goliath can fight David because he has been fighting from his. So what do we do? What would you do? Who understands what we are talking about? Saul is advising David that you can't fight the challenges, the problems. Now we have young people who are committing suicide. Recently, the Europe area, a young lady, secondary school, in his uniform, committed suicide. Some people they don't have parents to pay their fees, but they are still managing. We have young people 13, 14 years committing suicide in this country. Of course, we have priests. Catholic priests and others also committing suicide. The Presbyterian Catholics this year have shot me in South, brother area. So there are people who think that we can't find the problems are too much. Now, Saul is telling them that this man you are going to fight, you can't fight. The only reason is you are a young person. You are youth. And now the reason he is giving that Goliath will be able to fight and conquer David is that as for him, he has been fighting from his youth. So, what do we do? Should people fight from their youth or they should not fight from their youth? What do you do with your youth? What do you do with your youth? Because they say because you are a youth, you can't fight. And the person you can't fight has become so powerful because he started fighting from his youth. If you are a youth, what will you do? You do what? They say if you fight, you cannot because you are. So what will you do? You do what? You don't understand. Have you seen that in the Bible? You can't fight him because you are. And he is a powerful man who has been fighting from his youth. So, what do you do with your youth? What do you do with your youth? You do what? You will fight. What do you do with your, I hope I know the school. The school, this school, what's your school? Yes. Adi, what will you do with your youth? You will fight. But they say that is what will disqualify you. Yeah, what's your school? The blue one. Say that again. What will you do? Now, this is the complex that we need to unravel. What do I do with my youth? Because there are some people that mere fact that you are a young person, they don't want to respect you. They want to push you aside. They think they can trample over you because they know your beginning. My institution is so boy. This is boy. There are some people, even when you have hit 30 years, they will still call you that boy, that boy.
A young man.
I want you to believe that you don't qualify. So Saul is telling David that you don't qualify. You are a young person. But David will also listen to this king, who is telling him that the very thing that doesn't make you qualify has qualified somebody. So you have to make a choice here. And David said, I will go. Listen, young people, today, I came here to submit to you. If you don't add value to your life, society will disqualify you. But young people who know what we call value added life, you can't stop them. What Saul did not know was that David was a young person who has added value to his life. In fact, the same thing that Saul saw in Goliath. Goliath has also added value to his life. Young people who know how to add value to their life, you can't push them aside. You just give them the power. But this is where you have a choice to make. It depends on how you present yourself, how you carry yourself. Let me tell you something. Why recently, Ghana Medical Association, where they were on strike, you are aware of that. And Christian Council and Catholic Bishop and other leaders, we call them in a meeting in the office for the week. We have booked another meeting with the Minister of Health. So 9 in the morning with Ghana Medical Association representatives, 1 p.m. with the Minister of Health. We met them. And they said, if you can get an opportunity to talk to a senior member of government, we will call on the strike. So ask them, give us a name. They said, under the Minister of Finance or Chief of Staff. So put them in order of preference. Minister of Finance first or Chief of Staff first. Chief of Staff first. Then I pick a phone and I call. He didn't pick it. I sent a text message. That we are here with them in the Association. And they say they want you, they need you, and you hear what they are saying, and you give a commitment, they'll call us the strike. So we are coming to Black Farmer. Then he said, when? Then I asked them, can I be when? They said 3 o'clock. Then I sent a message. 3 o'clock.
Maybe I start here.
Who do you want to meet? Me or members of government or all those involved? Ghana Medical Association representatives. Who do you want to meet? When we go in, do you want to meet only the chief of staff, government functionaries, and all those things? We want to meet all. Personally. We want to meet you all. 3 o'clock, come. So we finished with them 1 o'clock. We were with the Minister of Health, and together with the Minister of Health, we were all marched to Flagstaff House, 3rd floor. We didn't have letters, nothing, pass. We went there. The Chief of Staff chaired the meeting. This side, Minister of Health, current one, former one, Opuni, Ministers, line up. Then Afofu, the Ghana Medical Association Executives, Chief of Staff at the Health. Now let's talk. Tell us, you must follow this. One of them was still either convinced or confused or whatever. How can within a matter of seconds somebody can arrange a meeting at the Flagstaff House? No, they cannot. Therefore, close to adjacent to the cabinet, I feel that we want this. I look at myself sometimes. Look at me. If you know how to add value to yourself, society cannot stop you. Authorities cannot stop it. When I was in secondary school, I told you 1981, I gave my life to the Lord. The next camp, I came back. My school, we didn't have area committee, we had nothing. But I could be in my room and write letters to all the headmasters and headmistresses, including principals of colleges, that SU people, we are going to have a rally in this school, release a truck. The schools didn't have nice passes like this. We are using what we call bone shaker. Give them bone shaker and we'll pack lunch. Students will rise, and the secondary school headmasters and principals will oblige. I still ask myself, what kind of report was I writing those days? Position yourself well, and the sky is the limit. Get it? I said, position yourself well, carry yourself well as a young lady, and the sky is the limit. Be mindful of today, because today will determine tomorrow. Now we are in school with you, and university students, if you are sleeping around, the guys are watching. When you think you are ready for marriage, they will tell you and they will show you your picture. Be mindful of today. Add value. Your food is. You are welcome. You came late. Be mindful of today, because today will determine tomorrow. I have friends at the secondary school. Those days, I from 5, 6, 5, upper 6, lower 6, upper 6. And this guy had wonderful parents, but we knew that he was smoking. Smoking. Could smoke anything. Your generation, you don't need to smoke. You can have coffee, weed toffee, you know that. You can have tea. Or you don't know, shit, weed, shit. You don't have it. I checked Grandpa College Board. I know we have shit, which is not made of. So, youth, one youth cannot fight, one youth can fight. One youth cannot fight if you don't add value to yourself. Respect, carry yourself well. Go to church, well dressed. Choose your language well. Carry yourself with some level of decency. Let society take you serious. Be basic graduate. I checked when I was interviewing a student for postgraduate courses, and middle of interview, one of them pick a phone, receive a call. Hello, yes. What are you saying? Okay, I'll come later. I'm sorry. And when he was on phone, the panel, we decided that as for this guy, who will fail him. Even if he topped this interview, that he doesn't know what to do with trying a mobile phone and how to carry himself, he must be failed. And we failed him. Graduates who are coming out, the competition out there. So position yourself well, carry yourself well, top down. Decency. How you carry yourself, how you dress, how you talk, how you work out things in relationship. Some of the guys are running the choir. You are sleeping all over the place, and you think nobody is watching. One youth cannot fight, one youth can fight. Be part of those who can fight. Paul will tell Timothy, don't let anybody Nobody. Friends, for the sake of time, I want us to stop somewhere. But look at verse 43. Now, as you want to find to be a leader who is going to have impact on society and turn things around and build a better future, look at verse 43. Your school didn't come with Bible. What happened? So bring them back, your Bible fast. Verse 43. Now, two people were about to fight. Listen, everybody look at verse 43. Then, the word of God says, young people listening, this is very important. Goliath called the gods of Philistine, not check, is it plural or singular? Those who have Bible, what is it? He did not call one God, gods, and cursed David. Have you seen it? Let me read from here for the sake of those who don't have Bible. Verse 43, listen. So the Philistines said to David, am I a dog? In fact, he was a better dog. That you come to me with sticks. And underline this. And the Philistines cursed David by his gods. This act that he did, I like how you pronounce it, gods. Was it necessary for Goliath to invite gods? Two people already, they say he is a youth, you will be fighting from your youth. So big man like me fighting a class 1 child. Then I start calling, was that necessary? What Goliath was doing? A big man fighting a small boy, and he was still calling gods, not one, many. Was that necessary? Necessary or not necessary? Examination. All those who think what Goliath did was not necessary, raise up your hand. All those who felt Goliath, this one is not necessary at all. Put your hands down. All those who believe strongly that what Goliath did was very right, very important. Raise up your hand. Raise up your hand. I don't know how many fights videos I have in my quest. As I would have called all of you and give you fights. What Goliath did was very important. He introduced the spiritual warfare, the supernatural side. Even though he was fighting a little boy, but he was fighting a nation, Israel. So it was not just an issue of a small boy, but the God behind that boy, the spirit behind that boy. And he wanted to conquer. So he wanted to win the battle from the spiritual realm. He was not just looking at the size of the boy, but the spirit behind the boy. And this is how spiritual warfare are handled. The demons, the spiritual forces, will always want to crush the power around you. When they finish that, whether you are 10 years or 100 years, you are just a nice meat for their table. But so, listen, Goliath and Satan and demons will always bring the spiritual dimension of leadership. But you must also be well positioned. Look at how David did it when he was calling the gods. And was calling the gods. Then David, verse 45. Then David said to the Philistine, you come to me with a sword, with a spear, and with a javelin, maybe with a boss of Philistine. That one, I think he decided to acknowledge the God. He was about to acknowledge that he introduced a super God. the Almighty, Jehovah. So he said, but I come to you in the name of the Lord of hosts, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied. Now listen for the 6th. This day, today, this day, the Lord will deliver you. Now look at how. Who is going to conquer Goliath? Who? Geography, mathematics. Who and what is going to conquer? Today, this day, the Lord will deliver you into my hands. Then, as soon as the Lord deliver you into my hands, I will strike you and take your head from you. I will only wait for the Lord to hand you over. As soon as he does that, I will take your head. I'm going to take your head. How do you take somebody's head from you? And I like how he said it, because this day he didn't have a sword. He didn't have anything. So I'm going to take. How he was going to take it, we didn't know. Until I take your head from you. And this day, I will give the carcass of the camp of the Philistines to the birds of the air and the wild beasts of the air, that all the earth may know that there is a God. Let's learn to give glory to God. Then all this assembly shall know that there is God. The Lord does not save with sword and spear, for the battle is there. The battle is there, and he will give you into our hand. So it was when the Philistines arose and came and drew near to meet David, that David hurried and ran toward the army to meet the Philistines. And David put his hand in his bag and took out a stone. How many stones? And he slung it and struck the Philistine in his forehead, so that the stone sank into his forehead, and he fell on his face to the earth. This is an irony. In literature, this is an irony. I will ask you, what is an irony? And so David prevailed over the Philistine with a sling and stone, and struck the Philistine and killed him. But there was no sword in the hand of David. Therefore, David ran and stood over the Philistine, took his own sword, drew it out, and killed, and he cut his head. Irony, normally, if I hit you with a stone, anything, you must fall backwards. Do you understand? If I stand here and hit somebody this way, you must go that way. Yes? So, if I hit you, the forehead, and the person ended up going this way, it means somebody pushed him from this way. This one clap. Hallelujah. The battle was, remember, David has said the battle is of the. So even though his stone hit the forehead, the one who was fighting the battle from behind just pushed the man. Friends, let us learn how to allow God to fight our battle. We are going to spend some time to pray. I have been grateful to God because I learned some of these things very early. That a young man can have impact on society, within and outside. I was in a meeting in London recently, and the Archbishop of Canterbury, who was administering communion, sent somebody to call me. That the Archbishop says he wants to administer communion with you, Lambert Palace. You know Lambert Palace? You've been there. No. Then I told that person, his personal church, that I'm a Presbyterian, I'm not an Anglican. And he said, sir, I can't go back to that man with this answer. He says he's administering communion with you. Nothing can change. Okay. So when anniversary, and he was there, he gave me a gun, he took one. Then the presiding bishop, Methodist UK, the three of us, that he will preach, Methodist will preach, he, the Archbishop of Canterbury, will give the wafer, and I will give the wine. When we were going round, Anglicans, they drink from the same cup. So the Archbishop will give the wafer, and I'll follow. I ask myself, me, where am I now? This little tiny boy, village boy. My father died when I was in secondary school Form 4. It was tough to continue. All that I told you, at the point, there was virtually nobody to pick the bills. I remember when I finished A-level, had admission to study in the US, nobody, scholarship, nobody to buy you tickets, nothing. I lost it. Now sometimes I struggle with myself either to accept to travel or not to travel. Now we go anywhere and then somebody buys the ticket and business class and you get to the airport and the car is waiting and you say, hey, me too. We are going to United Nations program tomorrow. We met yesterday and said from the airport everything has been arranged and all blah blah to this hotel and all that. I don't care. Get out of the plane and somebody's going to get your seat, bag and everything. And I'm coming from a family, my father died very young, secondary school. It was tough. But I had to learn that if you will allow this God to be your foundation, and if you will learn, those of you who came late, we learn, ask them. We have learned today that if you walk with wise girls, you will be wise. If you walk with stupid girls, you will be one of them. When you came, what did you read from Bible? What did the Bible say? Tell me, that is a memory verse for today. Everybody read. Ready, go. Everybody, stop. We are going to start afresh. Everybody open there. This is the memory verse. Memory verse. Those who came in the right, they didn't give you the notebook. You came in, so the notebook got finished. Everybody read it. Proverbs 13:20. Ready? Go. You finished? Yes. Proverbs 13:20. He who walks with wise men shall become wise, a companion of fools shall be destroyed. So as we get ready to pray, all that I'm telling you is, oh, you are still giving me, oh, it's time. I thank God I learned what I'm sharing with you very early. And so I thank God I have this opportunity to share with you faith that there are challenges ahead, there are champions ahead. Don't take life for granted. Don't take marriage for granted. Don't take academics for granted. Don't take spiritual things for granted. There are real challenges ahead, champions ahead. It's not because you are Presbyterian, it's not because you are from a poor home, it's not because you are an orphan, or it's not because your daddy is rich or not rich or whatever. That is the reality of life. But there's a way out. Even though some people will not allow you, they want to disqualify you. Never disqualify yourself. But determine to make your history his story. Learn today from this meeting that I want my history, when I'm dead and gone, I want my history to be his story. You gave me this. You said history, you can break history into two. It is his story. That is the story of God. So the history of Ghana is the story of God. Your history must also be his story. We have learned that we should not joke with spiritual things. Many of you raise up your hand that what Goliath did was not necessary, was very, very necessary. Introduce evil spirit. There are people like that, even doing that in our dormitories, in our home, trying to destroy. Be on the side. Be on the side of the Lord. He is the one who will fight the battle. The battle indeed is the Lord. The battle of Ghana is the Lord. Your battle is the Lord. The family battle is the Lord. Allow God to be at the center. If you allow Him, then Goliath will do whatever. The little you will do, the Lord will top at you. And even when the enemy should go backwards, the Lord will push him. Be outstanding, let's go. Just be outstanding quietly. God will strengthen